I'm Eden. I'm gonna walk you through my design process for my final project. So for this design, we were limited to Canva's elements and a website called Unsplash. Unsplash is really great, but it is a bit limited. Due to this, I did have a bit of a hard time picking what I was going to even do my full magazine page on. I decided to only really use Unsplash. I was searching for so long. I was hoping to find something that I had been to, a place that I knew. One of my first ideas was the castle in Versailles. There wasn't any photos for that. I ended up landing on something a lot more popular, a little bit out of my comfort zone. In-N-Out. Why is In-N-Out out of my comfort zone, you may ask? In-N-Out is really only a West Coast thing, and I do not live in the West Coast. So I was a little bit worried since I hadn't been there. It would put me out of my comfort zone in a healthy way. When I actually work with clients, I am going to have to make advertisements for places I've never been to or things that aren't really my cup of tea. So, a little walkthrough of my ad. I kind of tried to take inspiration from Teen Vogue and Genius, companies like that. I wanted to target my ad towards younger adults, older Gen Z, because that is who is going to be coming in for travel, are looking for travel destinations and tourist spots right now. Even still, I did try to make it kind of universal, so I don't think if an older person looked at this, they'd be really taken aback and just not understand what's happening. While looking for photos, I really was very limited. I did like the ones that I found on Unsplash, but there was only about 5 or 6, so I tried not to be too redundant. I used the background remover tool on Canva to cut out some pictures, specifically a hand holding a burger. I thought that one was really good because it's a really good side shot of the burger and it actually looks really good. I actually wanted to include a picture of the animal fries, but it just wouldn't fit and it felt too chaotic. I had to leave that one out. So for the top headline, I was kind of brainstorming ideas with my friend, and we put some of our ideas into Claude AI, and it spit some stuff back out at us, and I kind of mashed up one of my own ideas with one of the ideas that it gave me. So I did use Claude AI for that, but the little catchphrase at the bottom that says "Get on the flight, get in and out." I came up with that all on my own. I also came up with the little thing in the star that says West Coast's #1 chain. I actually did fact check that. It is the West Coast's #1 chain. I was so thankful. I looked it up and I was just praying it was going to be the #1 chain so I could just utilize that. I sort of struggled with not making it too chaotic or busy. As a maximalist, I really struggle with keeping things simple, and I actually made a whole simpler version. In the end, the one that I chose to do this presentation on was the fan favorite, so that is why I picked it for the presentation. So a good design is probably going to follow at least 8 of Samara's 20 rules of good design. I'm going to walk you through at least 8 of those rules that I think I applied optimal use of in this design. So my #1 pick is probably rule 18. Look at history, but don't repeat it. I tried to take inspiration from Teen Vogue, as I said. I do find those to be quite overwhelming. Usually tabloids have like just text everywhere. So I tried to tone that down just a bit. I only put text on the white areas where it's going to be really easy to read. Rule 10, pick colors on purpose. I only picked colors that I used the color picker on that were in the photos, or I chose black for my font since that's easiest to read and the most bold. My next pick is rule 8, beware of symmetry. Kind of leaned into symmetry a little bit, only in like a comfortable way where it's not chaotic. Rule 13, friendly type is good type. I chose the font Oswald on Canva. It kind of reminded me of a font that a lot of tabloids would use, but still very readable. Rule 3, be universal or advertise to everyone. Even though I did try to kind of target it towards younger adults, I think even somebody older isn't going to be completely taken aback by it. Rule 14, which is use 2 fonts max. I only used one font. Rule 9, fight the flatness. I used a sort of retro effect on my little star by cutting out the images, kind of made it really multi-dimensional. Lastly is rule 20, do it on purpose or not at all. I kind of saved myself because that little star that says West Coast's #1 chain, I was moving it around the page. I spent so long just changing the size, moving it around, and it was just looking so unintentional in the other places I was putting it. I think it actually looks intentional, and I wanted to use it so bad, so I'm very happy. Even though I kind of put myself working outside of my comfort zone with this project, ultimately I think it helped me make one of my favorite projects I've made in this class actually. I feel like from this course I've really grown in my abilities and I really enjoy graphic design, so I can't wait to really use it in real world client situations. So, thank you so much for sticking around, and I'm excited to see where things go from here.